Greetings and salutations. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Zen and the Art of Hero Making, where someone throws us a bouquet, we run like heck, because it's gonna hurt. We're not talking about that today, though. We're gonna be talking about the Cupid arrow off of the bride Cordelia, available with the special summer banner here that is for brides, well, for anyone playing Fire Emblem Heroes. The neat things about her is that she comes with Cupid's Arrow Plus, inheritable on other people. Whenever you hit somebody with it, it gives all your allies in the area around you a buff on defense and resistance, which is pretty cool. She has escape route and breath of life. The other thing that's really cool about her that's not shown here is that she has an assist skill that buffs attack and speed by 3 instead of buffing one or the other by 4. That's really interesting. I think that's worth pulling for her for that alone. But hold on a moment. Out the gate with our default kit, nothing too exciting here. 30, 50, 41. We're on the losing end of things. Looks like she's going to be a decent support character. Well, if you have not heard, this build here I want to show you is called the Champion, because whenever we use it, we we have a very impressive stat line. Real quick, let me talk about boons and banes. Attack and speed, depending on what build you're doing. Usually speed is going to be what you want for the boon. Both of those are not good if those are your banes. Good banes are resistance and hit points. Defense is the worst best bane to have, if you understand what I mean. So we're looking at a vanilla here. We're not looking at the absolute pinnacle. And we're already talking 98, 18, and 5 for our kills. And we get here by giving her, this is expensive. It's Brave Bow Plus. Life and Death 3. Yes, Life and Death 3 makes that much of a difference. We give her Desperation, and Threat and Defense works wonders on her. It's just beautiful. If you have that activated, as a matter of fact, just do that the cheap way. I mean, you're looking at 115 from that alone. This build is crazy. It is now the best archer in the game. And let me turn this back off before I forget. And if you if you take some damage and get Desperation running on here, I mean, before we had 98, now we have 100 wins. This is so consistent. With just a little bit of damage, you get rid of her special support skill and you put on Ardent Sacrifice, which lets you burn 10 hit points to heal somebody. Reciprocal Aid, something like that. Not Fury. It tanks your damage potential too much. But then this particular character is just going to be quadding all over the place. It's going to be like a mess of quad, like everywhere. You see that we're losing against 6 people still. So the people that we're losing against here, once we've had a little bit of damage, is we're looking at Ryoma, we're looking at Ike, and Celica, and Camus. Then, of course, Varian. I don't know how he got in this list. I think just to try to be like, look, I'm not a bad archer. And Henry. I don't know how he can see anything. If we were back here, before we take damage, we do lose to a considerable amount more because we're not getting that double tap in before anything happens. And just to take a look here at other people that give us problems of note, we have Roy, Spring Crom, not very often used, but a very powerful unit, which there's a small bit of irony, maybe? Not irony. Story there. Effie, Zephiel, and Hector, you're looking at those people who are going to ruin your day before it even starts. So be very careful around those. A lot of high tier heroes you still have a small problem with. So unfortunately, that in my opinion makes this build lose a little bit of its luster, but everybody else just dies. And it is wonderful. What is that? I'm sorry, guys. I somehow got lost a little bit. And then this build is... don't don't know. Okay, so there's only one other build that I want to show you guys with her, and this is a huge support build. She already has a lot of good support stuff in there. I think if you don't want to run Ephraim or Erica, or can't run Ephraim and Erica and want to run Blade Tome users, this is another great way to go. Keeping her original assist skill that she comes with, keeping her Cupid bow, and then what you do is you give her Life and Death too. You can also give her Darting Blow. It's almost as good in this build. Give her Life and Death 2 or Darting Blow. Moonbow. Switch out her Escape Route for Wings of Mercy, maybe. That would be my preference. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I'm not your dad. Keep Breath of Life 3 on there. And I actually show the Spur Defense 1 Sacred Seal on here if you have it. Putting it on her is great because now you have a hero who's going to be able to buff all your stats, heal you, and come to your aid and immediately give you a defensive bonus to boot. If you are screwed, you can have her pop up wherever you want and just start taking care of business. It's such a nice defensive build, and honestly, it's rather cheap. You only Life and Death 2 is the only in Moonbow are the big things here. If you want Wings of Mercy, I would recommend Wings of Mercy, but she comes with Escape Route. It just means that you expect her to get punched in the face first, as opposed to going to rescue people that are already down on their luck. A build like this will save an arena run that you somehow screwed up. The deal here is, 61, 5, and 55. You can get a little bit of mileage. I'm sorry, you get a little bit of mileage out of this by going with Vantage 3 if you want to. The Desperation does not stack with this particular build. She just doesn't have the attack umph. And there's only like 20 some out of the whole 60 that she'll be able to double tap and take care of Desperation. So if you want to take the same build and enhance it, you can go ahead and grab yourself some Vantage 3 on here, and now you're looking, oh, why did it not change? I've had problems with this not updating. It brings you up into the 70s. I'm not going to do that here, because I just remembered why I did this over here. I didn't set it, but I just want to show you what attack and speed do here for you before you do anything else. This is the one, this big build, attack is king. It's just a wonderful build. It dethrones everything. You will enjoy it if you use it. Especially if you don't have a big-time archer. Unfortunately, you need Brave Bow in order to get that. So you might already have a big-time archer there. But this wins on everything except for a couple of clutch high-tier heroes, and there's other solutions to them. So this is going to be a great add to your arena team. Both of them are great adds to your arena team, especially while they're in season. So check them out. I hope that you get them. If you don't, I hope you learned on how to avoid them whenever you see them in the arena. So until next time, take care.